Hi, I'm Linda Mae, and I'm here to talk to you today about this full moon period that we are beginning in the afternoon on Friday, May 1st at 10:23 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, as well as the new moon period on Saturday, May 16th at 1:01 p.m. again, Pacific Daylight Time. And I'm doing this from home today, so it's going to be a little bit different, but in the meantime, I'm still going to give you the news about the moons that I wanted to give you. So this full moon is known as the flower moon due to the abundant blooms and blossoms of spring. It's a time of fertility and love. It's a time to focus on the good things in life and on a more positive mindset in all areas of your life so that you can live your dreams to the fullest. It's also a time to embrace positive change and flexibility, as well as a great time to reflect on how you would like to continue to grow, weaving together the themes of passion, stability, and manifestation, which is all part of what this whole time of the year is about. So, and a lot of times the names of the moons have to do with what's going on in nature. So that's just such a good druid thing for me. We do have a full moon when the sun and moon are considered in opposition. And astrologically, it means that the sun and moon are in opposing signs. And at the time of this full moon, the sun is in Taurus and the moon is in Scorpio, exactly opposed each other on May 1st at 10:23 a.m. PDT. And the thing I love about this particular full moon is I was born under this full moon. Basically, I was born with Taurus sun and a moon in Scorpio. So I'm in like the same kind of thing. This is me. Anyway, the signs of Taurus and Scorpio offer a promise of romance, fertilization, and relationships. So that's very interesting, and part of that just has to do with the types of energy that they each are. The Taurean energy deals with more practical matters and security, whereas the Scorpio moon is more about change and transformation. Finding a balance between the two allows you to express your feelings more freely and share new revelations. Change is good, but also seems to increase a fear of loss of the unknown, and yet it ultimately leads to more wholeness as you do that inner work and all that kind of thing. So it's a very interesting thing because on one hand we have the very practical energy of the Taurus, and on the other hand we have the Scorpio, which is about transformation and changing and stuff like that. So it's an interesting mix, but when you put them together, it means a lot of amazing things. So aspect-wise, on May 1st, the same day as the full moon, there's a trine with Jupiter in Cancer and a square to Pluto. Jupiter in Cancer is warm and fuzzy, but the square to Pluto could add a level of intensity to that. It will help with gaining perspective and making sound decisions, however. And on Monday, May 4th, the moon opposes Venus, which can actually bring in more creativity and romance because of what those two planets mean. So some of these energies lead us into the time of the new moon, which is on May 16th, and that's a Taurus new moon, and it will be conjunct with Mercury and Uranus as well as a sextile to Jupiter. This is unique and it should bring in some really refreshing energy as we go forward. So as I already started talking about the aspects right before the new moon, the new moon is in Taurus on May 16th, as I mentioned. It's much more grounded, much more stable. It brings in this practical energy that allows us to get things done in an organized and practical way. It's a great time to make long-term plans and to do some self-care on your own self. It's a wonderful time to nurture your emotional and physical well-being. Growth is most sustainable when you do honor yourself and align your energy with the rhythms of nature for the greatest results. There are a few significant aspects after the new moon on the 16th. On the next day, on May 17th, Mercury enters Gemini, and that brings in more ability to communicate more freely with others and stuff like that. Very, very much about communication. And around the same time, Moon is trining Uranus, so that could also bring in some great unexpected changes, but more of a harmonious type. On May 19th, the moon squares Saturn, and then it moves into Leo, which is a great inspiration to get projects going. Then on May 24th, the moon squares Gemini, which assists in our communications, productivity, and other undertakings that we may have. So The next full moon is on Sunday, May 31st, but I will be telling you more about that next time. But this is giving you an idea of what's going on with the full moon, what's going on with the new moon, and then we'll be doing the full moon again on May 31st. So seasonally, we're now moving into what's known in the Druid tradition as the season of Beltane, and that is actually on May 1st, which is the same day as the full moon, which I think is very auspicious. Spring is all about rebirth and seed planting time. It's a time of planning and expectations, assessing goals for the seasons to come, that kind of thing. Beltane is when nature is in full bloom, and it's a time of fertility, and it's also the union of the masculine and feminine, both within ourselves as well as without. It's a time of purification, a sacred time often symbolized by the maypole dance and unions with others, in alignment with some of the romance that I had talked about earlier. And so that's Beltane. Beltane is actually my favorite of all of the seasonal celebrations of the Druid tradition. And part of it is because I'm basically a Beltane baby. Back in the day, they didn't just always make it on May 1st. They used to make it when the sun and moon were a full moon. So I was born under that full moon. So in a way, I'm a Beltane baby, and that's part of the reason I love it so much. There is a purification. I think I talked about this last time, where they would let the herds out of the barns after they had been locked up all winter, and they'd release them to the field, and they would put them through this purification process where they walked them between two fires because they believed fires could get rid of impurities, and they'd put them out in a pure state. So in some ways, this is a time for us to do our own kinds of purification like that, purging things, letting go of things, you know, things that don't serve us anymore, let them go, whether they're ideas or things or whatever. Believe me, with my house repairs going on right now, I have to do a lot of purification. It's amazing. But it's all for the greatest good, you know. It's interesting how that works. So now, the Celtic tree calendar, oh, I forgot to grab that. Well, I'm just going to tell you because I forgot to grab the deck. But the Celtic tree calendar, which is based on the moon cycles with the new year beginning at Samhain, has the tree for the period of the April-May moon cycle as oak. So this is interesting because the way it works is whenever the new moon is, that's what they call the moon cycle. Okay, so the fact that we've been getting the moon cycles, the full moons are at the beginning of the month, and the others, it's been very interesting. So the April-May moon cycle is oak, and the April-May moon cycle is oak, and that was because of the last new moon, which I said. And oak is associated with fertility, strength, groundedness, setting boundaries, that sort of thing. And then the new moon cycle begins with the new moon. So we will be moving into the time of Holly, which is the new moon on May 16th. And that's about justice, balance, direction, as well as love and encouragement. So you can see how they align with the other things that I've been saying. Okay, and now I'm going to do my my pulls, my card pulls that I always do. I'm going to start with my favorite deck, the Druid Animal Oracle deck. Okay, very deep meanings. All of these animals, it's like a soul reading. I call them soul readings because I do feel like they're really talking about what's going on a soul level. Okay, and what we get, very interesting, is the swan. And the swan stands for love, soul, and beauty. So in some ways, this has to do with the love that I was talking about, this sort of a romantic energy in the air for Beltane, and also the moon energies and all of that kind of stuff. So we have the swan, which has to do with, you know, just recognizing who we really are, our pure and true self, and being that and living that in our lives. It's a very, very important thing. And the more we do that, the more we love ourselves, the more we recognize who we really are. That's how we can relate better to other people. So it's a great card in cultivating relationships and all that sort of thing. It does have to do with love. It does have to do with, you know, soul level, anything to do with soul level, and especially soul level love for yourself. So very, very interesting card. Now we're going to do a card from this Druid Craft Tarot. I do a daily pull from this every single day, and we'll see what comes up for us here. Okay, so we get strength. Strength is interesting. The strength does have to do also with blending the masculine and feminine within yourself. In some ways, she's showing the strength that she has by taking care of this boar. She has a lot of courage. She has a lot of faith. And it really is about, you know, maybe starting a new life with full of compassion and having that balance I was talking about. So a lot of part of the message from the Druidcraft Tarot is to remember that, to remember the strength and courage that we have. Remember the love that's at our base. Remember that masculine, feminine balance within ourselves, and live our lives with faith and compassion for others and all of that. So great card to get. It's just a great card one way or another. Also, I like to do the trees, the Whispering Woods deck here. It's just a simple message, but very, very interesting. It's renew, okay? Renew. Nature continually renews itself year after year, and this is the time of renewal. So this is a very interesting card to get today. I think that's awesome. Now, the Sedona Code deck, Sedona Spirit Wind deck, this deck here. We'll see which one comes up for us here. We get Labyrinth. Interesting. Labyrinth. Okay, Labyrinth. Wisdom weaves wholeness in the tapestry of my life. So this is bringing in, it's like the labyrinth is actually bringing more wholeness. And part of that has to do with the labyrinth of all that we go through to learn the things that we need to learn and all that kind of stuff. That's what brings the wholeness into our lives. So it fits right in to a lot of the things that I've already said. And finally, the Light Bearers deck, a group of angels come into earth to help awaken humanity. These are always really beautiful messages. And we got Angel Cockabel. Angel Cockabel. Okay. Your life has a designed path to follow. Discomfort comes when you're moving down a path that does not serve you. And we talked about that earlier. Refocus and you will be guided as to which way to go. So, Angel, it says, I think it says, it's either Kakabal. I'll have to look it up later what it actually is, but it's a beautiful card. And the message is just phenomenal. And I will be back before the full moon on May 31st to tell you more. I'm not exactly sure how many more of these videos I'll be doing. It depends on what's going on with my home repairs and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I do want to wish you blessings of this moon season to you. And remember, you are always loved.